Okay, hi guys, and welcome to the show. Today, a presentation because co-designed with Fluco. In fact, actually, that's got to do with my wristwatch check. I'm wearing my Explorer on a Fluco nylon strap that I've talked about in the past. I've been a customer of Holben's and Fluco in particular, I think since the beginning of the channel for over a decade now. And then when I collaborated with Carl Friedrich a few years ago to do the Unico case, which was a huge success, that sold out, I always wanted to do another one, but a little bit more affordable without compromising on quality, which is pretty much an impossible task. But then through conversations with Fluco, we came up with a really great alternative with some improvements. There was a lot of, I guess, real world testing with the Unico case. The result is this, the essential everyday carry case for the watch enthusiast. So they come in these lovely little cloth bags, and if I open it up, there's two colors. There's black and there is cognac. Questo odore di pelle. So this is a premium calf leather, and then inside we have this extremely luxuriously soft, this is actually made in Italy, the interior. Obviously it doesn't scratch the watches. The whole point of this is I wanted this particular size. We experimented on so many different pockets, so many different trouser pockets, jeans, outerwear, all the rest of it, so you don't have to have a man bag or a briefcase with you, a crossbody bag or whatever bag you take for every day. You can put this in your pocket. You can either store two watches in each slot, or with the previous, let me just bring in the Unico, it had a cushion. And the problem with the cushion is, if you lose the cushion, you lose the, it's not connected. I always wanted it to make it connected to the case. So we managed to do it, but yet loose at each end. So that way, if you have a watch with a bracelet, you can then wrap it round the center padded section. If you have a watch in your pocket, and it's a bracelet, the friction, the steel rubbing on steel, you're gonna scratch the watch. Then of course your third watch on wrist. I'll be perfectly honest, I kind of designed this for myself. The reason is because I've always got a secondary watch or a third watch. I change watches throughout the day. If you come to a Gentry crew event here in New York City, you might want to bring some watches to show your friends. You might not want to bring a whole bag or whatever. So this is perfect. On the back, you have the embossed Gentry Labs logo. Gentry Labs, if you don't know, is a space that I've created, a website to archive and keep track, a kind of catalog of all my collaborations. That will be going live later on in the year. I have a very, very important, a once in a lifetime collaboration happening. By then, hopefully the website will be finished and you can see all my body of work. So this is certainly going to be in there. This exterior pocket is for your tools. If you want to have an extra strap, I tested it with different Bergeon tools, different screwdrivers for changing links. That's why it's a longer pocket. So you have your extra straps on the outside, so you're not having bits of the hardware loose on the inside. Again, potentially scratching your watch. Now we managed to get the price extremely competitive. I wouldn't go ahead with this project if I couldn't have it at a certain price range, because I wanted it accessible. Like great bags or great shoes, primarily with leather goods. If you remember some of my early videos, my early EDC videos, I included some of my grandfather's leather bags and so on to show you the longevity. You know, these are once in a lifetime purchases. So it's a false economy buying cheap, badly made. You know, when it comes to high quality leather goods making, we're talking about a whole myriad of processes. And this is what separates, you know, shoddy, cheap stuff from the high end. The stitching, the wax, the heat sealed edges, the treatment of each individual component. You've got things like oiling, coating, dyeing, retanning, padding, buffing, shaving, setting, conditioning, ironing, brushing, quality control tests, polishing. Like it's kind of like a watch, right? The embossing, the list goes on and on and on. So Fluco is able to do this because they are, for generations, they have a factory almost completely vertically integrated. They're self-reliant, which enables them to bring super, super high-end quality at a more competitive price. If it was watchmakers, they'd be like at a Breguet type level, right? Because they do everything in-house themselves, well, almost everything in-house themselves. Whereas, you got these designer stuff that, think of LV and designer brands like that you're paying for the name. They're more like kind of like a Tag Heuer. If we're going to equate leather goods to watch brands, they're like Tag Heuer. You see it in the airport. You're paying for those fancy advertising, for the branding, for the shops in the airport, all the rest of it, the sponsorships and the ambassadors. Fluco doesn't have any of that. They just concentrate on making the best straps ever. So what you get is something that's going to last lifetimes, and like my grandfather's bags, you can hand this down. There are little nuances. Again, another improvement is the latch system. You can get high quality zips, but in the long run, they're going to fail at some point. If you have a button and you pull this out your pocket and the button undoes and the watch goes flying out, that's a problem. So we came up with this latch system. This is actually we implemented with the Unico I did with Carl Friedrich. But again, the genius of German engineering, we've improved it. They've actually embedded a metal component into the latch here to strengthen it. Because this is a problem we had with some of the prototypes. If you're doing this action repeatedly, it's got to latch solidly. And then you have this reinforced extra thick stitching here. Oh God, I just want to just want to stroke it all the time. It's lovely. That's a euphemism. I shouldn't say. I shouldn't say I want to stroke it all the time. I'll edit that out. It's so good. I want to chew on it. It smells divine. And this is why, if you're wondering why, for the last 3 years I've been going to Germany every year, it's because I work with a lot more German brands. I love the way they work, the attention to detail, the focus on quality. I'm not going to say slow and steady because that's not really fair. It's more a focus on getting things done right. If it takes more time, then it takes more time. That's the kind of thing I've implemented into my own videos. If you saw my last Seiko video, that literally took 2 weeks just to edit alone. You see what I mean. I'll add a card there if you missed it. You see what I mean. I can relate to that focus on quality over quantity. If you take another example, this is I won't show the brand, but you can't put this in your pocket. Yes, it protects the watch, but you don't want this lump in your pocket. Whereas this, we managed to do a balance of just the right amount of thickness to protect the watches, to be durable over your lifetime, but at the same time not to be too obstructive and comfortable in the pocket. And I think we've absolutely nailed it. And the improvements over, the previous collaboration I did with the improved latch, the padding that doesn't fall out, the different ways you can use it, black and cognac, my two favorites. Again, it's kind of a bit selfish. I'm making stuff for myself, really. I will do my full EDC, but I just wanted to individually introduce this because honestly, I cannot find a decent single or double watch case on the market, so we just had to make it ourselves. So a massive thank you to Fluco, the whole team there. Obviously Mike at Holben's, again, a perfect collaboration because I've been a customer of Mike at Holben's for a decade, since the beginning of the channel. So for him to sell the cases for us it's just the perfect partnership. Any brand I collaborate, I'm always a fan first, I'm always a customer first. That way, I know how professional, I can gauge their professionalism, and I know you're going to get the same fantastic treatment I got, right? Guys, if you want to check out more photos, more specifications, details about the case, there'll be a link in the description where you can also purchase one. I'm over the moon, absolutely pure class. I know I can't really review my own product, that's why it's a presentation, but I have to say it is absolutely pure class, and I'm really, really happy with the end result. So don't forget to like this video. I will catch you with more regular content in the next one. Onwards and upwards. Thank you for watching. Ciao.